Hi folks, welcome back to the Horde. So, what is today? Today is March 2nd. It's 51 degrees downstairs. It's about 3:30, give or take a little bit. What am I up to today? Well, first thing I had to do when I got up was clear the 4, 5, 6 inches of snow, whatever the heck fell last night. This whole snow thing, by the way, is getting to be really old. So that's one thing, obviously, I had to get over and done with. Yeah, there's over 2 foot of snow out there. And on Wednesday, we're supposed to get rain, which is going to be very interesting because 2 foot of snow plus heavy rain equals flooding, lots of flooding. So, yeah, Wednesday, Thursday, going to be very interesting. Anyway, what am I up to? If one deals with the kind of stuff I deal with, people who watch this channel, generally speaking, you have one of these floating around your house somewhere, right? You just kind of have to. What I've done, I've spent some time playing with this whole mess, seeing what the best way of handling things are. I had a YouTuber say that he's had really good luck with the Harbor Freight Centec automatic battery float charger. So I had a coupon and I picked up a couple of them. They were $6 each, and I had a coupon, so I picked up a free meter to go with it. Homie likes free things, you guys know that. So what am I up to? What I've done at this point is I have this guy, that guy, this guy, and this guy, all on one float charger, all on this guy, and that's where it's plugged in. And what these things are good for, if you read the transformer, it'll tell you that the transformer is good for a 1/2 amp. Don't believe that. I mean, will it do a 1/2 amp? Yeah, for some short period of time, and then it'll be dead, and you got to go buy another one, and you'll be saying that you bought a piece of crap. So, I think the most you want to pull out of these guys is somewhere around a 1/4 amp. Okay? What I'm doing now is, given that I have 4 of these on one, I have a amp meter in series, and I'm pulling 64.6 amps. When I charged that guy up yesterday, and I just added it, like when I disconnect it, you'll see it very quickly counts down. So most of the current is really going into this one. It's not completely to the point where it's all peaked up and float charged and all that kind of stuff. Basically, is it's trying to force 13.5 volts into it. It's coming across a certain amount of resistance, hence you see the current drop. Putting 4 of these in parallel like I've done, the advantages: you have one float charger that costs you $6. You got 1 meter, you got a few alligator clamps, right? And you got everything real happy. Having 4 of these all in parallel is the equivalent of having one huge battery, right? If you have one and it's small, you have a small battery, you have 2. Now you have 2 small batteries. You put a third one on there, you get in the medium size, and you add a 4th. You're getting to the point where you have a big battery you're basically trying to charge. So that's what I'm up to. If I start drawing, if that says more like 200 milliamps, or if I have to go to the 10 amp scale and you see like 0.25 on the 10 amp scale, you're drawing too much current, you're going to burn something out. The other thing you can do is you can kind of feel this, and it's just barely warm at 64 milliamps. The bad thing about, once again, doing them all in parallel, let's say for some reason that thing cops in attitude and shorts out. What's it going to do? It's going to drain the remaining 3 batteries, and if you start pulling much more than a 1/4 amp, you're going to smoke this thing. You're probably going to burn up something in here. The transformer will probably take it, but something in here will go bad. So, risk and reward. Risk, you can end up with 4 dead batteries and a 4 dead charging unit. Reward, you could have 4 charged batteries and only use 1 charging unit. So, up to you. This thing I had not used in quite a long time. This thing is on its own little float charger, and you can see it's drawing about 30 milliamps. Considering this light is on all the time, I think that light probably draws, I don't know, 5 or 10 milliamps. It's not doing too bad, right? I'm relatively happy with that. This 0.22, 0.23, I got the 2 gel cells in parallel. These are from the boost pack I got from Joe, okay, or from the APC power supply I got from Joe. Now, I'm really kind of pushing my luck. You can see I'm drawing almost a 1/4 amp. Having it in parallel here, if one battery is really weak, I'm kind of dragging down the other one. So, not the best way to do it. It really is better to do them one at a time. These batteries, when I first went to charge them, they were taking no power at all. They were basically open circuits. So initially what I did is I charged them, I put the batteries in series, and I used this thing here. I think you guys could see that. It's good for 30 volts. Right there, 30 volts at a 1/2 amp. So I put the 2 batteries in series. I put a light bulb in there, and I checked on them frequently. As time passed, the light bulb was out, because once again they were like open circuits, and then gradually the light bulb got brighter and brighter and brighter. As the light bulb got brighter, I realized the batteries were taking a charge. I tested them. As they started to get near 12 volts, then I put them in parallel and hooked this up as I'm describing. What I have going on is I got the float charger, right? You can see the big lead of the float charger. Then it goes around and it goes through the meter. The meter's in series. I'm doing a current reading. You can see I'm on the 10 amp scale, and it's taking about a 1/4 amp. And once again, I have these 2 in parallel. These clips are setting it up so that they're in parallel. And lastly, this is a jump pack I've had for a while and just haven't taken very good care of it. It has its own little float charger, and you can see it's charging at about 80 milliamps. What does this mean? This means the float charger has to force quite, not a ton, but quite a bit of power. I mean, you got 4 of these all put together, and I'm barely drawing 65 milliamps for 4 of them, right? So this one alone is drawing 80 milliamps, and it kind of counts up and down. If I disconnect the float charger from it and let it sit around for a few days, what basically is going to happen here is it's going to go dead. If I disconnect the float charger from it and use it immediately, I'll probably get some halfway decent, I could probably jump like a garden tractor, maybe a small car. Basically, as they start drawing more current, the batteries are getting crusty inside. Their internal resistance, they probably have some material between the plates that's causing resistance. So when they sit around without a charger on them, what's going to happen is they're basically going to go dead. With something like this, you got one of two choices. You can either keep it on a trickle charge all the time, and I mean by trickle charge, one of these little float chargers, all the time, or you can say, I'm going to throw it away or take the battery out of it and put another battery in it, or whatever you're going to do. I personally suggest just keep it on one of these flow chargers, burning about, let's call it 100 milliamps to make the math go easy. 100 milliamps. This is costing 10 hours. 10 hours is one amp hour times 1,000. So in 10,000 hours, which is a year, you will use 10 cents worth of electricity. I think you could afford that. I personally recommend just not putting a float charger on these things and completely ignoring them. I actually recommend checking them occasionally. If you're getting free meters from Harbor Freight like I do, I pull the coupons out of the Sunday paper. You can afford to have a bunch of these just kind of set up. When I'm not monitoring the power, I just turn them off and leave them in series. It doesn't hurt anything doing that. Right. And then when I walk by here, I just turn them back on. So that's about it. Love these flow chargers. The Harbor Freight ones, they're my new favorite toy. You can see I'm using them all over the place. Once again, they cost about $6 with the coupon. 2 of them, $12. With tax, call it 13, plus a free meter. If you have that coupon, then you could come here and set up your jump pack and have some fun, or set up a few jump packs and have some fun. You could buy the alligator clips. These bigger ones are a little more expensive. The cheaper ones, there's a cheap one floating around here. These are the cheaper ones. You're only drawing milliamps, so they work. You can buy a whole package from Harbor Freight. They're like $3 or $4. And if you have your 20% off, you can knock 20% off of that, which makes them even cheaper yet, right? So you can go in there with your Harbor Freight coupons and get 1, the free meter, 2, the float chargers for $6, and 3, use your 20% off coupon to get a bunch of alligator clips. So then for less than a $20 bill, you can maintain all your batteries and have a meter to play with, and you can amuse yourself when it's cold and dark outside. All right, folks, I want to thank you all for watching and commenting and subscribing. Remember to keep your feet down, keep your head up, and remember to enjoy all your days. You don't know how many you're going to get, so make sure you have fun. Oh, just quickly, this is the better camera of the two. I'm not in love with it because it's harder to upload, and I always seem to have my finger in front of it. Let me know what you guys think of it, if you think it's better than the other camera, or if you really don't care. I really should buy a handy cam. That seems to be the preferred camera of YouTube, but my arms are a little short, my pockets are a little deep these days. I gotta go rob a bank or something. Take care, folks. Remember, once again, to enjoy all your days. Bye now.